Hello everybody. It is Sunday, the 5th of September. I want to talk about this world as an Akashic record and of us, about us inside of this world, inside of this reality. I've been going forward with this thought, aided in a great way by David Icke, because he has just taken top spot again for being my favorite nemesis. I'm listening to him and the emotions rising in me are mostly anger. Now, as I said, anger is your servant. It is not to take this anger to go up against what provokes your anger. But it is pointing to something wrong, something that you feel as an injustice, something that you feel as wrong. So that the correct way to use your anger is to get out of it, back into a rational state, and think about what was there that provoked that anger, which is what I've been doing, and in that way it has aided me a lot. So, this world as an Akashic record, what is this reality? What are we inside of it? Because they have the completely wrong end of the stick. They see creation the wrong way round. That is to say, the further out you go, the greater the knowledge, which it is the other way round. I've also listened to the Lakota creation story, the creation of this world, and it was fascinating how absolutely similar that is to the Kabbalah creation story, and in a way you can also see it in the Bible. The formless world that was there to start with. I mean, that was fascinating because that came from two completely different sources, and it talked about the same thing. And it talks about the Creator, which is the energy that is still, that has no form whatsoever, not even thought, nothing. There is no ripple in that energy. And in the Lakota story, and also in the story of the Kabbalah, it said that this still energy created the earth out of itself. So in order to do so, in order for it to take form, you need to create a ripple. Vibrations create form. So that's what it did. And then the stories start to vary then, because in the Lakota story, that is how the forms got onto the earth. In the Lakota story, it said that they all gave the forms to the earth to give it purpose, to give it a purpose, something to look after. And that is this thought that is coming into my head over and over and over again. Look after the forms that I gave you. That is, the thought is always there. Now, in the Kabbalah and in our Bible, which is pretty much grown out of that, it says that a God created, the all created man, a God, and that it was the desire of God that created the forms on the earth. Either way, what we must understand out of this is before the forms came, this earth was pure creator. It is all that the earth knew, was that which created it. So, I mean, it's only a part of it because it created out of a part of itself. We are not The earth is not the whole of the Creator, but that's all it had knowledge of. And when the forms are created on the earth will arrange them in such a way, in the way of the Creator, because that is the earth's own foundation, is the Creator. So if we go with the Bible story, when God said, let there be light, trees, fish, whatever, the world created the forms, the desire, but it arranged it in such a way that it would reflect the Creator, so that the forms on the earth should, as different as they are from each other, should all give to one another to sustain the whole. So that is the foundation of this earth. It is the knowledge of the Creator. And the forms are arranged in such a way that they can function within that thought. All shall be given, all shall receive. Now, since then, which is a long, 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 long time ago, this world has had a lot of experiences. Things came here, they built on her, they lived lives here. We were created and started appearing here. And the record, the knowledge of the world is her own knowledge. So is she infinite knowledge? No, I don't think she is. We are saying, or I'm saying, according to what you are. The world is the same. The world is learning through its experiences, and it's keeping the record of those experiences. Now, some of the knowledge of this world is living knowledge. That is to say, it is knowledge that is still here, that it still has life. And there's other knowledge that are memories. So, whatever it remembers, it no longer has form here, but the earth remembers it. Now, in the form, if you see the form, you can see that. Where there's stuff here that is no longer alive, but it still has somehow a form here, like dinosaur bones. Like what those that came here had built at the pyramids. So those are the memories that we can still see, but those things no longer have life at this moment in time. But I think if they are on the records, they are still energetically attached to this world as a memory. So there is still a pathway to whatever created this here. Now, Jesus said, I bring you knowledge of the Father, I bring you the knowledge of the living God. The living God. The living God is that which has life here. Anything that is here that still has form, that still gives continuously to everything else. David Icke says, you are on a very narrow band of frequency. There is so much more out there. Yeah, but you are on this narrow band of frequency. So what is it you're receiving? The frequencies that you are receiving, that you are decoding and making into a picture, is the strongest frequencies here. Frequencies that are created by life. They are the strongest frequencies here. The rest of the frequencies that no longer have form here are weaker. And the further out you go, the weaker the connection to this truth. So how do you go further out? Is you have to alter your state of consciousness. You have to alter yourself. You have to alter the chemistry inside of yourself. Whatever it is you're doing. You know, you go to the Amazon and I don't know what that drug of choice is at the moment that takes you all the way out there. But what you're actually doing is you're going further away from the truth. Now, when I said those are memories, and here's the thing, whether the world is actually infinite. How far can you go traveling on those streams of energy? You know, like if they were here and the energy is still somewhere attached to this world, so you're traveling on this energy to reach that point. They had life. They came from somewhere. Maybe they had life somewhere. Can you then, through them, again, access other worlds that may still have life? I mean, this is theory, and it's, you know, thinking about it that way, it would be entirely possible. That you travel on those paths of energy. To what purpose? You're here. They are not a greater knowledge than this. They are a different knowledge from this. Whether that knowledge will serve you here is a completely different question. So as you go out of this band of frequency, which is created by life, you are entering the realm of the dead. Now, dead, and there is, you know, David Icke again going around saying there is no death. Yes, there is. Yes, there absolutely is. Death is a different stage from life. It is not this complete ceasing of energy, because energy cannot be lost. And it is a change of energy. It is, as he said, getting out of this vehicle. Yes, it is getting out of this vehicle. But this is life. Being in this vehicle is life. And then that is just a definition we made. This is that, the other is death. So it does exist. It does not mean there is no energy there at all. It is. But it no longer has form. So as I said, the memories of those that were here are still here. And what do we do? I mean, for a lot of time, the earth has covered them up. It has covered up those memories. And what do? We go around digging them up. Why? Why are we digging them up? Because we are looking for our roots. Man, are we looking for our roots? They're right in front of us and we don't see them. When you came here, and that is when you came here to learn the knowledge of this world, which is the knowledge of the Creator. When you came here, you're like a memory stick plugged into this knowledge. And this knowledge became your roots. These are your roots. You're rooted in this world. It is this world, it is the coming together of the two that give you life. You know, it takes two. It takes the male and the female in order to create life. The knowledge of this world is the creation and sustaining of life. Those that no longer have form did not get it. They did not learn that lesson. You are receiving of the dead. Those that did not get this at all. the further out you go, the less they got it. It is distance. Distance as in, what does the Kabbalah says? Equivalence of form. And if you think form as energy, equivalence of energy, the more the energies are the same, the closer they are to one another. The less they are, the further apart they are. Distance. So the further out you go, the less they know about this. And you've got it completely the wrong way around, thinking that is the greater knowledge. No, it's not. This is. Anyway, I think I can leave it at this for today. Say we need the knowledge of the living God. Right now we are decoding it as forms. Then we need to know the meanings of the forms. That is esoteric knowledge. That is the true knowledge of this world, because it is creating a picture in us, and we need to see the meaning of that picture and then move inside this picture, receive of this picture in the correct way, which is what will give us life, will prolong our life. And the thing is, the longer we can keep ourselves alive here, the closer we were to the truth. There is eternal life out there, yes. The trick is to have eternal life in the form. Or, here we go again, eternal life. Do you actually want to live forever? That's another question. Do you want to be in this form forever because you're only one experience? Or do you want to at some stage leave this experience and start a new one in a different place with different surroundings to learn a new lesson? But the way you know that you've actually got this is you're alive. You're doing something right if you're alive. So there are our roots. When we come here, we have rooted in the knowledge of this world. And that is in the living knowledge. We must go for the living knowledge, not connect to those that didn't make it. The only thing you can learn from them is what not to do. And in the end, that is what Jesus did. Yeah? He got the knowledge of life and he gave it to the dead. There is a thought in there because that leads to the resurrection of the dead, which is the next thought on my line, because that's where I'm going toward, because that is something that should not happen. We should not resurrect the dead. The dead should come back to life, but not in this way. So, but that's another thought. That's somewhere I'm going next. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.